Well, hey guys, welcome, welcome. We're going to go ahead and roll into our beginning. These half-hour chats go super, super fast. So please send us your questions. You can put them in chat. We'll make sure we get those answered or reach out to us, prairieware.com. We have a contact us page. You can DM us on Insta, whatever works for you or whatever social platform. We're here. We love to educate. Welcome to our Prairie Circle chat. I'm Holly, the CEO here at Prairieware, and today we have two amazing humans with us we're going to discuss how do you find that right bra for activewear. So we have Heather and Dr. Sports Bra, Dr. LaJean Lawson. Heather, could you introduce yourself and then we'll have LaJean.
Yeah, of course. Hi, I'm Heather. I live in Portland. I'm a mom, I'm a nurse. I love to move my body, and finding what fits for my body has always been a challenge. And so I'm super excited to talk today, hear what LaJean has to say, the awesome things that you're doing at Prairie Wear, and just to, chat about this thing that I love, moving my body and feeling good in it.
Awesome.
Yeah, LaJean here. Dr. Sports Bra, I say that because it's 40 years since I did my first in the lab evaluating breast motion with scientific equipment, and I've been learning from women of all sizes of breasts and bodies ever since. I was so happy that Holly gave me this opportunity because I'm not plus large body myself. I would know nothing without literally the hundreds of amazing women who have shared their experiences, who have educated me, and I've learned so much from them. So anything that you hear from me today comes from our sisters. Yeah.
Awesome. And I want to say for everyone out there, one of the things that LaJean has taught us here at Prairie Wear is nobody is anywhere near the same, regardless of size, shape, exercise, no exercise. Everything moves differently, and it is fascinating. And I love to learn more and more about body movement and how to best support that. So we're going to go ahead and jump in and really just talk about a few different topics. And our first question, which our lovely Kayla, who's sitting behind the camera today, put together for us. So what does cup size really matter when it comes to being active? What are the unique challenges with different breast size and finding the right bra?
Well, Holly, I never talk about support in bodies without first giving a shout out to spandex. It was really this amazing fiber. You could stretch it really long and it would come back to its original shape that enabled the sports bra to be invented. And I always have to give a shout out to the original jog bra, which was
1986
constructed from two jog straps. So it is that spandex fiber, and that, I mean, we have it in all of our activewear, our bras, our leggings, everything that enabled this invention back in 1977, the first modern sports bras. Spandex enables compression, which is really important, as we know, medically at Prairie Wear, having started on the surgical side, but to be able to hold, I never get on an airplane without my little compression socks that I put on my legs. Compression is really valuable in enabling circulation, but in terms of Heather's issue that she loves to move and wants to be supported, compression is also just super important in giving us options of bras that are both comfortable and really keep everything moving together in one unit.
Mm-hmm. And for you, Heather, in terms of, I don't know all the technical jargon, even though I know that I'm a part of the design meetings and all of the construction. When I hear spandex, it's just like white noise for me. It's more like, does it feel good on my body? Does it move with my body? So what are some things that you look for that you found work for you? Or have you heard this term spandex?
Yeah, so I've heard of spandex, but I've never really actually thought about it in my bra until now. But it's so true, because when looking for a bra, I mean, it's so, being a bigger body, right? It's like you go to Target and you're like, oh, I'll get a sports bra. But as it turns out, none of them fit. So there's like cup sizing, right? It's like, okay, well, my cup size is like not this A to D thing, right?
Mhm.
So you show up, you try it on, and it's not fitting. And so my favorite bras that I found are definitely the ones that like are kind of like freer form, and they can stretch, but then once they've stretched, they're like holding me in and they're
Yeah.
supporting me. So when I'm moving my body, the breasts aren't moving from side to side. And then I'm not having to fuss with my body either, because the last thing I want to do when I go to the gym is like adjust myself. So this spandex thing is like, it's a miracle. It's
Yeah.
You know,
awesome.
Heather, that is so insightful, because we could not have alpha sizing like small, medium, large without this notion that, okay, so I have this fabric and it's kind of stretchy and it's small, doesn't stretch much on me, but put that same bra on, say, a D cup, it's going to stretch a lot. And when it stretches, it becomes more rigid, which is what the larger breasts need. I'm always so amazed with Prairie Wear that we can fit all these different bodies with one measurement up around the high bust, but then the amount of compression spandex, etc., is engineered to do exactly what you're talking about. And I don't know, this might be a good time to talk about what my wear testers have taught me about. If you are larger, we have brands who have started in a very inclusive way, designing, offering athletic wear for all sizes.
Mm-hmm.
We have brands that have decided to become more inclusive. And I mean, there are, I could hardly believe these numbers. 69% of women in North America wear a size 14 or higher. That was 2015. It's probably a bigger number now. Average garment size of US women is 16 to 18. Estimated number of plus size women in North America is 212 million. I mean, if you are in business, this is an amazing white space of women looking for things in their size. I mean, Heather, in your experience in the market, is it easy for you to find stuff? And how have you gone about finding
Yeah, I mean, it's so frustrating because I want to buy things, right? Like I want to buy things, I want to look good in my exercise wear, but going out there and finding it, and then okay, so if you're looking like online, like Old Navy has stuff, but then the way it feels in my body, like it's nice that it's available, they're inclusive sizing, but it's not like exactly what I want. So when you have these mainstream things, they're accessible, but if it's not exactly you want, it's hard. And then finding exactly what I want and then also have it be inclusive is like super challenging. So once I find what I like, I'm like, oh my gosh. So like when I'm seeing these places like Girlfriend Collective, Universal Standard, where they're showing plus size bodies, right? It's like finally there's a space where like, oh, this is meant for me. Because if I'm looking and you go to XL or like 2XL, I know that those things are, not made for me or my body, or I'm not being considered in the conversation that they're having as they're developing their products. So like this Prairie Wear bra, it's like, it's amazing. It's like the material is good. It reminds me of Lulu, like that it's like this soft, stretchy, like, and yet like supportive material, but it actually fits my body. And I feel like it's made for me. And so when you find these places that, it's targeted for you, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And I just can't even, wait to see more of it. Like it's a long time coming.
Well, and coming back to sports bras, specifically if you're curvy plus, and I get asked, does cup size matter? Well, that's only if you're not wearing a bra that's been designed specifically for the size and weight of your breasts. We can't escape the reality. Any body part that is larger and heavier, and in the case of larger breasts, that can actually affect posture. It can affect forces on the spine if you don't get good support, particularly if you're not being held close to the body. And fortunately, there are some great choices in the marketplace, but you do need to know what to look for. And maybe I'll talk about what causes a sports bra to fail for larger bodies. Kind of to Heather's point, first, if the fabric itself, it's not compressive, it's too soft, if the straps are too stretchy, if there's not enough coverage, because most people don't know that breasts actually fly up more than they fall down. So having that control up here is just super important. Too narrow straps that the pressure per square inch really cuts in. And I've seen women in my lab that had permanent grooves. One of them joked, she said, well, at least now my straps don't fall down because they have a little trough that they lay in. But not enough coverage. You may need adjustability in the straps, may not have that. So those are some of the challenges in terms of product. And then kind of to Heather's point again, where do you go and shop? And when you get there, can you find your size easily? Is there a separate department for plus curvy, or or online? So even if there's great product out there, how do you go about finding it? Heather, what's been your strategy?
Yeah, so what I do is I try to find a website that is like showing plus size models. If I'm seeing plus size models, I'm like, okay, maybe I can find something here. And the best way to shop for me is online, and I order multiple sizes because I'm always disappointed when I order one and I'm like, oh my gosh, this doesn't fit. Like, is there something wrong with my body? But in reality, it's like, the way these things are made, they're not made for bodies. They're just, they're made, and sometimes they fit you and sometimes they don't. And then the variability between companies too. So here I'm a 2X, here I'm a 1X, here I'm a 3X, there's no consistency across, which and that's just the nature of it. Mm-hmm. So I always have to go in incredibly open-minded and knowing that, this might not fit. I might need to try on 3 different sizes before I do find the one I want. But in the end, once I find something that I love, it's so worth it, because then I can go into my spaces and I can exercise and I don't have to think about, is this holding up the strap thing? It's like, things are so cute, but with these teeny tiny straps, I can't move, like I'm adjusting myself, and then I'm like, not lifting my weights properly, and I'm hurting my back. So, having the appropriate clothes to move your body in is so important. And I want to look super cute, like I want to look good in this clothes. I don't want to be like finding this mediocre bra and putting this shirt on top of it. I want to wear my bra, I want to wear my leggings, and I want to just, be out there and do my thing.
One of the things that we saw a lot in early wear testing is a lot of women who wore 2 bras.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that was to make sure that if they were doing yoga, they didn't spill out the top, or if they were running, that they didn't get chafing. Yeah. And yet what that was happening is, to their bodies was just complete circulation constriction. It was like putting on the Iron Maiden to go running. And I was really moved by how can we do better for people, because that sucks. I think we can do better as an industry for bodies. And I think learning how bodies move and how the modulus on the body is, which is what LaJean gave us, it's been incredible. And I think the other thing that you said that really strikes me is, one, sizing isn't consistent, and nor can it be. Every product is so unique and different. But on the same hand, how are we educating people how to find their size? If you have to order multiple sizes, that's not a size chart that's sustainable over time, right? So how can we as an industry do better? And that's something that LaJean helped us with as well, in our amazing design team. How do we simplify the sizing process? How do we do that? So I always say to people, how do I find a good sports bra? Make sure there's great sizing information. Make sure that you understand how to fit, and that read some reviews. Does the fit chart work? What is this about? The other thing that we hear a lot about is when you find that product and you like it, even if it looks the same as something else, it may be totally different. So check to see, what is your bra made of? What's the components? It always has to be listed. Is it Okotex certified, which means chemical free, safe for your skin? What are the things that we can look for to get a better bra, even if it looks like the same out there? And I think when you start to educate yourself on that, you also start to get more and more of those things that you can find because you're asking those questions. So straps, that's one thing we always look at too. What size are the straps? Do they grade up from a small to a 2XL? If it's the same strap, no. They're not grading up. And so that's probably not going to be a great fit for that size 2X if the strap is the same on an extra small, right? And we see that a lot. So those are some things that I educate my friends on in my circle of, here's a few things that you can look at right off the bat. to go, could this work for me? And so those are a few things that I found that through this process, I've just learned more and more about what would I look for? How can I help my friends find the right bra, whatever that bra is? Because there's a whole bunch of great choices out there. How do you find them? Yeah.
That's such an interesting thing about the bra strap, because in my head, like what I've told myself is if it's a small strap, I don't even try it on. Like there's no point because it won't fit me. But when you talk about, oh, if it's increasing based on size, like, oh, what a great idea, something I've never thought of, and what companies are doing this, and maybe I could fit in that, and unlearn those things that I've been.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I really like.
Sorry, go ahead.
I really liked your point too, Heather, about wanting to look cute and stuff. I remember for a brand I was working with, in their product catalog that would go out to their accounts, all of this really cute stuff in Missy through XL, maybe 2XL, and then this little separate tab section in the back, which was plus, and they were all like navy and black.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this idea, and it's kind of the social shaming that if you don't have what we think is this ideal body type, then you should be on the back row at yoga in something that's navy. And I tell you, it's been 10 years or more since I first started, and it was when Target said we have to be more inclusive. I was working with a brand, athletic brand that was in Target at that time, and Target said basically you have to start designing and offering plus size. That's just part of our corporate mission, which really then gave such a great push into expanding that category. And that was really the start of my learning. In my bra lab, when you come in, and as you know, Heather, if you're doing a fit model thing, or if you're on the treadmill and doing a little run test, you have your shirt off. You're in your bra. And I remember my very first plus tester, who went on to become a great model for Prairie Wear. Becky came out of the dressing room in her bra, and she said to me, I just want you to know you're the first person that's ever seen me run without a shirt on. And that, it touched my heart that she trusted me, number one. And then number two, it just expanded my empathy for every woman who doesn't fit into a sociocultural ideal. So it's been, I feel so blessed by the plus curvy women that have come into my life and really expanded not just my understanding of what makes a great bra, but also the plus curvy experience. Yeah.
And it's so awesome to know, like, as somebody who's shopping, like somebody does care, because it always feels like, oh, like my body doesn't count in this system that we're working in. And like, meeting you, and you're like, this is what I do. And I'm like, oh my God, this is what you do. And it was so exciting and so empowering too, because like, I want my body to show. I want to wear bright, fun colors. I want to like do all these things too, but if people aren't making them, then I can't. And so you're doing it, and it's just like, it's so empowering. It's just so exciting. Yeah.
I think the other thing that I'm hearing from inclusivity and empowerment is that all of our bodies are different. And I hope I don't get this stat wrong, but 70% of women have asymmetrical breasts. Is that
yeah, totally.
So,
am I right?
Not the same. And so we have this construct of it has to be a certain cup size. Well, guess what? Those cups aren't the same on the same body. So these are also things that we look for, instead of a cut and sew bra, looking at a seamless bra, depending on what your body requirements are, things like that.
And Holly, it's not just that asymmetry on any given day of the week, but I'm postmenopausal now, but during cycle, I think it can be like your breast can get up to like 20-25% larger in volume. So and over the cycle of the year, depending on how much we celebrated holidays, our weight fluctuates. The amount of fluctuation in our breast size is, most people have no idea what that is. I'll say that my breasts are only now symmetrical because I've had 2 lumpectomies on the larger side. And I've always said to the surgeon, you know, leave a good margin there. Take as much as you want. I'm trying to get even.
Jeez.
So now at age, well, I'll be 74 this year. I'm finally approaching even.
Well, some of us are still not even. And I think what I've learned is, I think to some degree, we kind of all feel like outliers, like this doesn't fit me or nobody knows how this is. And what I've learned is there is something out there and how to try to find that. So I think a few other things that LaJean has taught me about bras and straps is not all straps are created equal and not all bras are created equal in terms of what they're made of. So I think we've all had that experience where you put on a bra in the morning and it feels perfect. And then by noon, you're like, what is happening? And the strap is like falling off your shoulder and the boobs that were here or maybe down here, or, you know, something like you feel that where it's not the same fit as when you put it on in the morning. And who even thinks about those things? LaJean does. So those are things that for us, it was to take into consideration that we needed to have a consistent compression 24/7. We can't have something that relaxes after it warms with the body. And so those are also things that we look for and that you can look for as a consumer.
I also, Holly, want to give a shout out to you that over time, and how many years has Prairie Wear been in existence? 5, 6, 7, 8?
1 million.
1 million.
No.
Over time, and starting kind of as the best post-surgical bra on the market, but very quickly realizing this compression really works as a sports bra as well. And then over time, it's like and depending on your sport, if you're doing yoga, obviously you don't need like this necessarily, but over time, bringing new styles into Prairie Wear that give a woman options for any activity, for any body size, any breast size. And, I'm just saying that, looking into 2024 is going to be really exciting for Prairie Wear as well. But that's also part of recognizing the diversity in bodies, the diversity in what we do on a daily basis, and making sure that we have these great seamless bras, safe, certified not to have anything harmful for our breasts, that we can bring into any wearing occasion.
And on the same hand, Prairie Wear isn't the only bra out there doing amazing things. And so the intention of these talks, I mean, obviously we love our huggers, we love Prairie, we love what we do, and we really believe in it. And on the same hand, we have a lot of education and support that we offer other people of how do you find what works for you? And we're cool with whatever that is. There's something out there for everybody. So if it's us, great. If it's something else, great. Let's find what works for you. And I think checking out the straps, we say do a 30-minute fit test if you can, over a tank top for that new bra that you're checking out, because 30 minutes gives you a sense of, does it start to pull on my neck? That's where we hear a lot of, if you have a larger cup size, most often there's a little more tension on the neck, and straps can be made to not put as much tension on your neck, in many different ways. So try it for 30 minutes. See how it feels on your body. Sit down in it, do these things, because often we'll go in and we try it on. It feels great for that moment. And then you get it home and you wear it for a day. And we hear all the time, this is the first bra I've had that I don't want to rip off at the end of the night, so we've all had that experience where it's like, this has got to come off.
Yeah.
This is not good. And I think that's another thing that I say to people of, try it for 30 minutes over a tank top and see how that feels. Adjust the straps. That's the other thing. We put the bra in the wash, which, by the way, I feel all bras should be machine wash and dry, because who does hand washing? Nobody. That's crazy. At least in my world, I'm like, no, thank you.
I know.
So, but sorry, that's one of the things that I always look for, like no special care on any bra. But what I was going to say is, in terms of looking for, a bra that works for you, is just making sure that you make the adjustments. I think so often we just put it right back on and you don't take a moment to adjust the strap or adjust the, the back band. These are all things made to help your bra support you better structurally. This is what LaJean has taught us. Those adjustments are there for a reason. So use them. If it feels like you need a little more lift, great, try it out. If you want it to be a little tighter when you work out, adjust it, let it and adjust it after your workout. So these are all things that I think we don't even think about because you put your bra on in the morning and then, throw it in the wash, you put it back on, you may or may not adjust the straps or the back strap, and it makes a difference. Yeah. So my point to all of this was, LaJean, if there's any other tips or tricks that you can, what do we look for? What are some specific things you would look for a super great sports bra that we can share with everyone? And you guys, it's already almost been a half an hour. Isn't that amazing?
I wanted to step back for just one moment about wearing two bras. And there was a lot of years in the industry where I would say, and I would hear the complaint, a woman shouldn't have to wear two bras. And it's like, yeah, someone should be inventing a sports bra so you don't have to wear two bras. I kind of have a little bit of an alternate position, which is, well, as you know, Holly, when I wake up in the morning, my reason to be is that I believe every woman and girl, regardless of her breast and body size, deserves all of the considerable physical, mental, emotional, even spiritual benefits of exercise. And to do that, she needs a great sports bra. I've also realized, and through all of the, I will say, in the thousands of women I've talked to over the last 40 years, there's some women who simply cannot keep things locked down unless they wear two bras. So it's like, if the only way that you can get comfortable for exercise is wearing two bras, wear two bras.
Do it.
Because, do it. But fortunately, more than ever, I think that there are bras on the marketplace that you're going to have to pay a little bit for them, but increasingly doing a better job. I mean, breast tissue, it's soft, it deforms, it responds to gravity. Your breasts don't just get larger, they get heavier. And so, I was reading a scientific paper last week or 2 weeks ago from late last year that if larger breasts, this research was done on D cups, thank God, so much is done on D cups, which is great, but it doesn't really teach us about the average size. And literally, the breast size not supported affected what we call stiffness in the knee, which is actually a good thing because it gives you greater ability to propel yourself forward. So if you're not supported and moving around, you don't get that stiffness because your legs are kind of adjusting. It actually affects your ability to go faster if you're out running or going down the basketball court. So we're kind of learning some of these things and why it is so important that every woman has an equal opportunity to perform at her best level because her breasts are being held the way they should be held. Is that crazy? You're what?
It is. I mean, it makes sense though. It makes sense because even from what you said, Heather, when you feel supported, you're going to move better.
Totally.
You're more confident, you feel better, and therefore you move better. And I think there's the scientific data and then there's the feeling and the feedback. When you're supported, you feel confident,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wear testing a different bra, a different brand. And I was at the bench in the days when I went to the gym, which feels like a million years ago, but I will say it was just 4 years ago. But I was at the bench and I went to do a lift and it was an encapsulated cup. So it was a cut and sew encapsulated cup, everybody talking about bra. And all of a sudden my breast tissue came out of the cups and like pushed to the side. And I was like, oh, what do I do with this? Very awkward. And I thought this expensive bra that was the creme de la creme, and these are not staying in place, at all. So I just kind of like tried to pull my t-shirt out a little bit and So I put my hands to my side and walked to the bathroom, but I thought, my goodness, that's not an
Yeah.
experience that anybody wants to have. Or falling out of the top of your bra, which I have not experienced, but it was that same feeling of complete insecurity. And that's where I learned that I don't want to wear a cut and sew bra for me because it doesn't fit my body. And hence the world of seamless. And so I keep kind of going back to what are things you can look for, and everybody's different, but those are a few things that I look for. So a seamless support design, good straps, what's it made of? Is it Okotex certified? And then that's sort of my criteria when I'm looking for new things. But I have to disclose that I'm a little bit biased, so I wear a Hugger every day, but I do wear test a lot of other bras. I do that. Yeah.
So I'll share one more quick anecdote about bad bras. And this is relative to really check out the inside, make sure the inside of your bra is really smooth. So I got a sample that I was testing for a client, and it was from a major athletic brand, and it was a collab with a world famous designer whose father is a world famous musician. And so it had all of these little perforation holes. It was bonded, so it had all these little perforation, more than 100 little perforation holes on the band. So I thought, okay, I'm going to put it on and wear it for half a day, see how it is. Well, after an hour, I had to take it off. It was every one of those little holes, the edge was like itchy. Digging in, I took it off, and I actually have a photo of this. Where each of those holes was like a little nipple. I had 100 little nipples across the front half of my body. Another one that I tested with many wear testers, like 40, a big brand. It had foam cups, and then a really plunging neckline. So just a little bit of bra here that acted as a hinge. So every time they reached across, the bra would just like open up. And so I had to say to them, just so you know, when you do this, I can see your whole breast. I'm not looking at it, but just so you know, I can see it. Over 40 years to see what is weird, but to know what is good. You know, the wider straps that aren't too close to your neck, smooth inside and out, good moisture management away from your body.
Yes.
We can't perfectly solve easy on and off just simply because of our body shapes, wide shoulders, wanting things to fit close under our breasts. For some women, easy on and off is pulling over the head. For some women, it's a front zip or a back hook. So you find what you prefer to do. Adjustability of your body can be just, super, super important as well. And it's not necessarily an easy quest. Some women can go in, just pull anything, small breasts, just the body of a fit model, which too many brands, I think, go mostly on the dress form and don't actually have them on lots of bodies. So, those are just some of the things, in addition to the things Holli has said, to look for. And then I think to Heather's point as well, if you have a larger body, do some searches. And I don't know if we can, put any links up to some or not to, but if you search for something like best sports bras for plus curvy body, find websites that review a lot of different brands, and that will, and then go to those brands' web pages, like Heather does.
Like Fat Girl Pro, that's a good one. They have that great article, and it breaks it down, different price points, to find what you like. Yeah.
There's a great searchability these days, and what I really encourage people to do is ask for more. If you're looking for more, ask for it. You will find it. And if you don't find it, maybe you're part of the movement to change it. And that's really what we're about, is always upping our game and learning more and more and educating along the way. So guys, this is our time already. It's already been over a half an hour. So we're going to finish our circle chat for today, but I feel like what I learned is really look for certain things to find the bra that works for you, but also make sure it works for you. A bra doesn't have to hurt. It doesn't have to cause pain. It doesn't have to be something you have to rip off at the end of the day. It can be pretty awesome. And they're out there. So, yeah, awesome. Well, cool. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. And if there's any questions, please reach out. We're your support at prairiewear.com or reach out to us on social. We have at Dr. Sports Bra, and she knows a ton about bras, folks, and she's very passionate about it and helping people. So please reach out. And Heather, thank you so much for joining us and giving us
for
your
having me.
perspective and sharing your experience.
Yeah,
Really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks, everyone. Happy Circle Chat and wishing you a really great rest of your day.
Thank you. Bye.